Welcome back to the End Zone. I'm your host, Brandon, and I'm joined by the boys, Tim and Paul. As always, if you like what you hear, please like and subscribe, and let us know your top 5 for this position group. But with that being said, let's get started. Top 5 safety prospects in the upcoming NFL 2023 draft.
All right, coming in at 9, we have Ronnie Hickman, the Rocket from Ohio State. 6-foot safety, 203 pounds. Only 21 years old, so he's still a young prospect. Had a very productive 2021 with 93 tackles and 2 interceptions. Had a little bit less production, but it was still pretty good safety. 53 tackles and 7 pass deflects. So you love to see the ball skills. He can track the ball and bat it down. Love to see have a little higher interception rate, but what can you do?
Yeah, no, I think he's a decent sleeper pick. I think he could potentially take over as a team starting safety. I see him probably going on day 2. But yeah, no, I like him a lot as a day 2 prospect.
All right, moving on to number 4 here, we have Sidney Brown, absolute stud out of Illinois, 6 foot, 211 pounds, blazed 40 and I believe 4.4, 4.5. This guy is just fun to watch on tape. He is everywhere where the ball is and where the ball needs to be. You see those interception numbers, which are pretty good. He played a lot in the box and a lot kind of outside linebacker, as well as deep safety, which I know a lot of the safety class, it's a weaker class altogether. But he was just doing everything, that kind of everywhere, flying around the defense. Definitely, if you have not watched his tape, I would highly recommend it. It's just, he looks like he plays with so much energy. It's like a middle linebacker out there.
Yeah, no, I like it. I think that he's a really good athlete. I think he might be one of the best athletes out of the bunch. Yeah, very productive in college. I kind of am a little confused, like you said, where he fits at the next level. I potentially see him trying to be a free safety, like a deep safety, being that I think he did run like in the 4.4s, and he did, if I'm not mistaken, jump out of the gym. So I agree with you there, that he is an excelling athlete, and we'll see how he fits along. I mean, maybe he plays a little bit of nickel to start off, but I could see him again being a good deep safety in the pros.
Coming down to number 4, we got Jordan Battle. I love this prospect. He 6'1", 209 pounds. He plays a lot bigger than he actually is. Everyone, when they think of the secondary at Alabama, think of obviously the number 1 guy here. But Jordan Battle, he's a gamer. I mean, he's a big hitter, always around the ball, pretty good in coverage. I wouldn't say that's definitely his specialty. He's more of a run support kind of guy. But he's just a high energy guy, and he flies around the football. And Alabama safeties, he definitely cannot go wrong with go wrong there.
Yeah, no, I like him. I think that he's a good box safety that I think maybe at the next level could eventually develop in coverage. I could see him, due to his length and his size, sizing up against tight ends pretty well. So we'll see how that goes. Again, I think this guy's probably going to be a day 2 guy as well. I like him a lot in the sense that he's not afraid to come up in the run game. Again, needs to develop as pass coverage, but that's something that I think a lot of these safeties need to do at the next level.
Yeah. Moving down to number 4, we got Antonio Johnson out of A&M, 6'2", 198 pounds, which is kind of shocking because he looks kind of skinny. But he definitely does not play like that. This guy is an absolute hit stick waiting to happen. My biggest concern with him, he really doesn't have the interceptions and the playmaking numbers to warrant a safety. I think a slot corner is more of, or kind of that rover role is going to be more of what he finds is, where he makes his money at the next level. This guy, he does a lot of highlights of, laying the wood. I'll respect it, but one thing that concerns me about him is he can lay the wood, but he did not show a lot of form tackling, which I know the secondary aren't known for form tackling, but it's definitely concerning when you're giving up those big long plays because you think you hit stick, but it's actually Derrick Henry and he's just going to run right through you.
Yeah, no, I mean he definitely had some missed tackles in college, but I think at his size, man, I like him a lot as far as being in the box and being potential like a nickel corner. He is a absolute monster when it comes to laying the lick on people. Kind of like we said though, it could definitely develop in the pass coverage aspect of things. But I don't think that he is a bad athlete in any sense. So I think that's something that he can improve on. He is only 21 years old. So I mean, again, he's a young prospect. I could see him potentially going early day 2. And again, to any team that potentially wants to take a flyer on a guy like this, I mean, he to me has a pro comp similar to like a Derwin James. Obviously not as good in college, but still, I mean, dude, this guy's his tape is pretty freaky.
And it brings down to our number one, Brian Branch. Um, tried and true. Everyone knows he's going to be probably the only projected number one pick or the first round pick out of the safety group. Um, Probably best coverage safety as far as the whole entire group. Lined up a lot at corner where he was very productive. Obviously, you see those pass deflect numbers, it is very hard to get a pass deflect. But he's also very productive in the run game. Great tackler. He can lay the wood as well. I mean, he's an Alabama safety at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that at the next level, he'll definitely be a solid safety. I think you can kind of line him up all over, even potentially at corner. At 6 foot 190, I would say I wish that he was a little bit of a better athlete. I think he only ran like in the 4.5s and the 40, which isn't terrible, but when you're going against some shiftier guys, you kind of wish that he had that elite athleticism. But in his college career, I mean, this guy was an absolute stud. He produced all 3 years that he really was a starter. Again, I think he's going to be elite at the next level. I think he's one of those ticket items that, look, if you're not going to take him in the first round, I think it's a big mistake. I think this guy, again, is one of those players that you kind of just, I guess I'd say he's a my guy. Like at the next level, I think he's going to be really, really good, and he's going to be a good starter from day one.